Hello budget people and welcome back to my channel. I'm She's on a Budget. I hope you've all had a good start to the new year. If you are new to my channel, please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe to the service. If you are not new to the channel, then do not forget to click on the notification bell so that you're up to date with all the latest videos that I plan to post. It's been a very busy week for me. I've gone back to work. Lots and lots has happened, so I'm eager to get started and share it all with you. First of all, I will look at my weekly overview. So I'm just going to look back on the week that has just passed at all my transactions. So from the 3rd until the 9th out of my cash envelopes. So you can see I've got quite a few to log down. As you know, I use a key to write down which envelope each transaction has come from. So you can see the red transactions are from my food envelope, the blue transactions are from my fuel envelope, the green are from my utilities, and the black are from my sinking funds. As you can see, we haven't made any purchases from our sinking funds. The stickers are my regular bills, so these are the bills that have come out by direct debit or auto pay, and yeah, that's that. This is where I log all of the expenses that I made from those cash envelopes. First thing I'm going to do is transfer them into their transaction log. I've already done it. I'm just going to take you through how I actually carried that out. So all of the purchases that were in red, I've highlighted them in orange here. I had a transaction for £29.34 at Aldi on the 3rd. Then I made another purchase on the 4th for £7.48, on the 6th for £2.69, and on the 8th for 49 pence. For fuel, I purchased some fuel on the 4th for £30, and then on the 8th for £10. And I made one purchase for my utility. And then what I do with that information is I transfer it into my weekly check-in, which is just on the opposite page. I will tally each category up. I'll start with my food envelope. So I've got £29.34 plus £7.48 plus £2.69 plus 49 pence. And that gives me £40 exactly. So my total for food was £40. That means I had zero left over because my budget for food is £40 a week. For fuel, I made two purchases for fuel. So I've got 30 and 10, so that's 40. Our fuel budget was £50 this week, so I should have £10 left over. So if I go into my fuel envelope, which is here, I've got my £10 in here left over. And I'll just put that to one side for now. Okay, sinking fund. We didn't make any purchases from any sinking fund, so I've just put a 0 there, and therefore that's 0 as well. Utilities was £20. We only had one for utilities, and that means that there was none left over because our budget each week for utilities is 20. So I've just closed down the budget from the 3rd of January until the 9th. I'm about to set up my new budget for this week, so from the 10th until the 16th. I've seen that I've got £10 left over, so I'm just going to move that forward into this week, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. First of all, guys, things didn't go as planned last week. I was short by quite a bit of money. Even though I budgeted to have an income of around £1,000, it was more like 450. These things happen. I was expecting a payment and it didn't turn up. So I had to adjust some expenses going out last week. I reduced some of my tithe because I'd budgeted my tithe based on that income. I also had to change things in regards to how much money I was hoping to put into my emergency fund and towards debt. So that was a big thing last week. It did actually knock me a little bit because I was really, really pleased at the end of last week's budget that I managed to finish, or I thought I'd managed to finish my emergency fund, and I thought I had my £500 saved up, and I didn't. So that was quite disappointing when I realised I still have that goal to achieve, and also that I wasn't able, or that I probably will not be able to pay any extra money towards debt this month. So it was a bit disappointing, but these things happen. It's expected that things are not going to go the way that I hope them to go every single month. So I had to just move on. The other thing that I realised last week was that I think I've been doing things slightly wrong. As you may know, that I follow a method similar to Dave Ramsey's method. If you don't know who Dave Ramsey is, he's a talk show host in America who is all to do with financial literacy and becoming debt-free, and owning no debt whatsoever. So I follow his method quite closely, not exactly, but quite closely. And he states that the first thing that you need to do after you have made your minimum payments and you have basically paid your basic expenses, you then need to start saving for your emergency fund, and you pay nothing else other than that. And as you know, or some of you may know, I've been paying towards, or I've been trying to save towards my emergency fund. If I have had any money left over, I've put it into a debt snowball envelope. And yeah, I think I've just been doing it the wrong way. I'm doing too much at the same time. Last week was the first time that I managed to put some money into my sinking fund envelopes. And although that is one of the methods that he actually guides people to do, I don't think I'm ready to actually have a specific or a designated sinking fund for anything right now, which is, again, disappointing. But I have to take each step as it comes and not try to do too much, because it can become, and it can feel quite overwhelming. So what I'm planning to do this week in this budget is I'm just sticking to one thing this week, and my focus is getting my emergency fund completed. I will go through the figures with you once I lay it out, but I'm not going to be filling any cash envelopes for sinking funds this week. I'm not going to be trying to put any extra money left over from last week into towards debt. I'm just putting everything that I have in my emergency fund, because I really, really want to get that closed down now. I really want that to be there, and I really want to be prepared for any emergencies that may come up in the near future. Okay, so let's get started. So this week I'm expecting 209.27. As usual, I'm paying debts 5, 6, 7 and 8. So for this week it's 275 for 5, 20 for 6, 6 for 7, 15 for 8. So I'm just going to total those up. And that's 43.75. And then I'm going to move on to my tithe, and I'm putting in £20 for tithe. For food, it's going to be 40. These are just regular amounts that I put towards these expenses. Utilities is 20. Fuel, it will be 50. Insurance is 16, 20. So my total for expenses is 146.20. Okay, so yeah, sinking funds, it's a big 0 for them at the moment. I've made my peace with that. I mean, when it comes to birthdays, for instance, I have a birthday next month for my daughter. If I haven't managed to finish my emergency fund by then, I will just have to budget her birthday present into my weekly budget for that week, if that makes sense. If you don't have any sinking funds, or if you don't have any money available for sinking funds, you just have to do what you do usually. So if you have a birthday, you would have to budget in that birthday present from the money that you have coming into the home during that period of time. So that's what I'm planning to do for my daughter when it's her birthday next month. And also have my son coming up in a couple of months after that. So again, if I haven't managed to finish paying towards my emergency fund by then, I will have to do the same thing. I feel that I will definitely be in a position to pay something into sinking funds very soon. It's just disappointing that I can't do it just now. Let's do the breakdown. Let me put down my income again. So that was 209.27. So I'm going to subtract my bills from there. So 43, so 209.27 minus 43.75 minus 146.20 gives me 19.32 left over. So I've got 19.32 left over. Obviously that money is going to go straight into my emergency fund. Okay, so now I'm just going to write down the amounts that I need to put into my cash envelope. So for tithe, food, I'm going to put 40. Utilities is 20. Fuel is 50. And it's just 0 for the rest of them because we're not putting anything towards those. Okay, so I've done my zero-based budget. I've got a little bit of money left over to go towards my emergency fund, but that's all for now, guys. I hope this video was helpful. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you in the next video. Have a good day.